What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of JK Sports. I've got a mock draft for you. I know it's been a while, and I took a bit making this mock draft, and I know I'm not going to make anyone happy, but whatever. Let's go with it. First up, Tampa Bay. Everyone knows who this is going to be. Jameis Winston, quarterback, FSU. Easy choice. I know still some Marcus Mariota debate. I think easily Mariota has way less off the field issues. I'm not aware of any, but Winston just has that natural accuracy. He has yet to do have like a football off season doing baseball and stuff. So he has yet to reach his full potential, which is kind of scary. Though I have to say, I don't think Mike Glennon got a fair shake. I think he did really good his rookie year, and then they brought in Josh McCown, who was awful. But, yeah, easy choice, Winston over Glennon. Number 2, this is where things can get a little shaky because someone can trade up to number 2 to try to get Marcus Mariota, but Tennessee should not do that, in my opinion. They should give Jake Locker another year and take the best defensive prospect since Clowney, but some people say he's better than Clowney. But Leonard Williams, defensive tackle, USC. Great prospect. He's been a beast at USC since his freshman year. Yeah, and he fills a need also. So number 3, Jacksonville. I went with Dante Fowler, a local kid from UF. They got a fair amount of sacks, Jacksonville. I was surprised by that, but they don't have like a monster pass rusher that needs to be game planned around. So, and Fowler definitely has that potential. Number 4, a lot of debate which wide receiver Oakland should take. I'm taking Mari Cooper, without a doubt. Highly productive in a tough conference, as everyone knows. And a lot of questions were, the only question was his speed, his straight line speed, and he answered that question, undoubtedly running a 4.42 at the combine, I believe. So, hands down, I'm taking Amari Cooper. Number 5, that is a place, because I'm not sure Tennessee or Jacksonville or Oakland will be willing to trade down, though I think they should entertain the idea, especially Jacksonville and Oakland. But, so someone willing to trade up for Mariota, try to jump the Jets, who a lot of people think will take Marcus Mariota, but I'm not going to be fooling around with trades. So if Washington stays there, I think they'll take Randy Gregory, who is a great pass rushing prospect. They're already getting rid of Brian Orakpo, or not getting rid of, but they're not re-signing him. He's a free agent, so they need another pass rusher to opposite Ryan Kerrigan. So I think Randy Gregory fills that bill. Also, Shane Ray could be an option there. Number 6, the New York Jets. I have them taking Marcus Mariota just because they do need a quarterback. Geno Smith may have some potential some untapped potential, but Mariota's a better prospect. I think a better head on his shoulders. And you know, with this new GM, this new head coach, they could go a number of ways. They could be a trade down option if they don't want Mariota and try to accumulate picks. But I'm going to have them stay there and take him. Number 7, Chicago. I'm going with Danny Shelton. I think he's the best player available at that point. So why not? They definitely need to go defense there, I think. I can see them going with Shane Ray also. Number 8, I have Atlanta. The Atlanta Falcons taking Shane Ray out of Missouri, defensive end pass rusher. They need sacks, no doubt about it. They are awful, and yeah, defense. Number 9, the New York Giants. They could go a number of different ways, but I'm going to take Brandon Scherf out of Iowa, offensive tackle or offensive guard. Though I think everyone believes he's a plug and play as an offensive guard. You just put him in there. He's going to be definitely an above average even as a rookie. They had the 3rd worst rushing yards per attempt. You could blame that maybe a little bit on the running backs, but still, they need offensive line help. Number 10, St. Louis. I have the Rams taking Kevin White, wide receiver, out of West Virginia. Some people say he's the best wide receiver in the class. So if he lasts till there, I think it's a no-brainer for St. Louis to get the quarterback there. My God, from Oklahoma, Sam Bradford. Some help. I know Brian Quick looked good when he was healthy. They took Taven Austin a couple of years ago. Stedman Bailey looked okay, but and Kenny Britt was their leading receiver. Though I don't think Kenny Britt is the answer there. None of these I don't see as game changers. Maybe Quick or Austin has some potential. Austin, I don't know. But Kevin White brings the whole package of speed and size, and a lot of people compare him to Julio Jones. So if that type of player falls to number 10, you jump on him no matter who you got, and none of those guys are like studs. So number 11, this one's interesting. I have Minnesota Vikings taking Devontae Parker, wide receiver out of Louisville. Teddy Bridgewater's ex-teammate. I think that'll be good for chemistry. He's a great wide receiver prospect also. I think he's a notch, like a great deal below Kevin White, but it's just the fact that Kevin White fell to 10. It's not like they're that close. Cleveland, number 12. I have them taking Vic Beasley, pass rusher, defensive end, outside linebacker out of Clemson. He blew up the combine, had a productive year 2 years ago, and this year he was okay, though I think some people were a little underwhelmed by it. But Cleveland also has a bit of a need there. They're letting Jabal Shurd go, who is also a productive outside linebacker. They could bring him back. When I say they're letting these people go, they do have a chance to come back, but as of now they did not resign them, and they're free to talk to other teams when free agency begins. Number 13, I have the New Orleans Saints taking Trey Waynes, cornerback out of Michigan State, widely believed to be the number 1 cornerback in the draft. He also did well at the combine. At least his 40 time was really fast. Then they need secondary help, without a doubt. Number 14, this one was a little tricky. Miami. I don't know which way they're gonna go. I went with Malcolm Brown, defensive tackle out of Texas. I think he's a beast. So I think he'd be a great pick there, just out of value. So. And also Miami was 24th in yards allowed per attempt, I believe, or 24th yards allowed in rushing yards. So they do need help, and I'm not sure Jared Odrick playing defensive tackle is so great. I think he's more of a defensive end in a 3-4 team. He's versatile. I think he's good, definitely. But I think for purely stopping the run, they need to put Malcolm Brown in there. Though I can see them going corner. Number 15, I got San Francisco taking Dorial Green-Beckham. A lot of people think that's high, but you don't get that size, that weight, that height, that speed at wide receiver very often. And San Francisco is also letting Crabtree test the market, so they need someone opposite Bolden. And they need someone to stretch the field, which Dorial Green-Beckham definitely can do. At number 16, I have Houston. I have the Houston Texans taking La'el Collins, right tackle, or can play left tackle or right tackle, I believe. But I think he's mainly believed to be a right tackle. I'm not sure a lot of people think he can handle left tackle. He can also be pushed in at guard. And the Texans are letting Derek Newton test the market, their right tackle. So it's possible that La'el Collins can be the right tackle, or they bring back Derek Newton and they'll put Collins at right guard. But they definitely need offensive line help. Number 17, San Diego. I picked Bud Dupree, pass rusher out of Kentucky. The Chargers haven't had a pass rusher do double-digit sacks since Antoine Barnes, who hasn't been there for a bit, and he wasn't. I think he had like 10 or 11. Sean Merriman. That's the last time I can think of a pass rusher that someone was scared of on San Diego. And they're also, I believe Jarrett Johnson is going to hit retirement. He's going to retire, so they definitely need someone on the edge. Number 18, Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going with Landon Collins. This is the easiest pick. If Landon Collins is there, Kansas City is rushing to the podium. Kansas City is probably the most safety needy team in the league. They were already kind of not deep, and when Eric Berry was playing, but Eric Berry was diagnosed recently with Hodgkin lymphoma, which, if you don't know, is cancer. So he has no business playing football. He's got bigger problems than that, obviously. So I think that's an easy pick. Number 19, I have the Cleveland Browns with their second first-round pick, taking Eric Flowers out of University of Miami. I think this kid has probably the highest potential of all offensive line prospects. Maybe Ogbuehi, or Humphreys, but Eric Flowers is only 20 years old, and he was a beast at UM at left tackle. He can play either left tackle or right tackle. In my opinion, he might be better suited for right tackle because he's better at as a run blocker. So I have Cleveland taking him. They've already released their right tackle, Pat McQuiston, or right guard, Pat McQuiston, so he could fit in there if you want to push him in at guard, or move Jeff Schwartz in from right tackle to right guard, which he is very capable of. I think that would be a great fit. I think Cleveland, they didn't do so great at running, but they do have talented running backs. So if you move Schwartz in and move Flowers out to right tackle, I think you're going to be in for at least 4.4 yards per rushing attempt is what I would guess. Number 20, I have Philadelphia Eagles taking Marcus Peters, cornerback out of Washington. I don't really need to explain that. I don't think their secondary needs a lot of help. They're not good at stopping the pass. Cincinnati, I don't know what's a glaring hole for Cincinnati, honestly, so I went with a high potential, great player, probably the best player on my board at this point. Definitely Eric Armstead out of Oregon. He's a defensive end. Some people put him at defensive tackle just because of his sheer size, but I think he's more in the mold of a Calais Campbell from Arizona Cardinals. I keep saying UM because I'm a big fan of UM. But he says he models his game after J.J. Watt and Calais Campbell also. So I think putting him next to their monster defensive line with Carlos Dunlap and that I always forget his name, Geno Atkins. I think that would be just make a strength even stronger. Why not? Number 22. With the 22nd pick, I have Pittsburgh with taking a corner, Jalen Collins out of LSU. I think he's a really good prospect too, high upside. Pittsburgh needs secondary help. 23. This is one where I'm not sure. They can go a number of different ways. This is the Detroit Lions. I have them taking Todd Gurley. This is because no one's really afraid of their running. Their passing game is on point, obviously, but to just go from Joique Bell, they've already released Reggie Bush, Joique Bell, and Todd Gurley, the best running back prospect since probably Peterson. I think you run with that. But the reason I'm hesitant about it is they're letting Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley test the market, just letting them go. They're at least not going to go after Suh. They may bring back Fairley, which I don't know what they're doing. So they may go defensive tackle, but at this point I don't think there is a defensive tackle worth taking. Oh, Eddie Goldman. Eddie Goldman might go there, but yeah, I'd just shore up running back for the next however many years and take Todd Gurley. Though that plan doesn't always go to plan, as you can ask the Cleveland Browns or now Indianapolis Colts, Trent Richardson. The Browns took, like, what was it, number 3 pick, a high top 5 pick, Trent Richardson, which no one questioned, even me. And then the Indianapolis Colts trade a first-round pick for him. I don't know. Number 24, also, I'm not sure, but they could go a number of different ways, but I'm going with Kevin Johnson to Arizona, cornerback out of Wake Forest. The reason I do that is because Antonio Cromartie is hitting the market, so they have a need to put someone opposite of Patrick Peterson. Their defense is really amazing. Number 25. With the 25th pick, I have Carolina taking DJ Humphries, left tackle out of UF. I think this kid could end up going way higher than 25. I think he has a lot of potential at left tackle, which is obviously a very important position that teams pay a lot for. So I have them taking a left tackle. They need to protect Cam Newton. That just needs to happen. Baltimore with the 26th pick. I have them taking Philip Dorsett, wide receiver out of Miami. I think this is a perfect fit for Dorsett and for Baltimore. They're gonna let Torrey Smith leave, and Steve Smith Sr. is just too old. They can't rely on him much longer. So. And number 27, I have Dallas taking Eddie Goldman. That's where I have Eddie Goldman going, defensive tackle out of FSU, former 5-star. Dallas just needs to stop the run better. They allowed 18 touchdowns on the ground last year, only worse to Atlanta, which they were really bad. Number 28, I have Denver taking Devin Funchess, wide receiver, tight end, hybrid. He's just a weapon out of Michigan. They're letting Julius Thomas go, so I think this is a natural fit for Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. Indianapolis with the 29th pick, I have them taking Melvin Gordon, running back out of Wisconsin. They were 25th in rushing yards per attempt last year. Obviously, Boom Herron can't do it all by himself, and that's the only running back they have, really. They need to get Andrew Luck some help on the running game. Green Bay, the 30th pick. I have them taking Denzel Perryman, middle linebacker of Miami. I think he's a perfect fit there. They need middle linebackers. They let A.J. Hawk go, and they were 20th in rushing yards per attempt. So definite need there, and I think he's a great value at 30. 31, I had Seattle kind of take a flyer or kind of a reach. Byron Jones, cornerback out of UConn. Byron Maxwell is a free agent, so they have a need there, opposite of Richard Sherman, obviously. And obviously this kid, everyone kind of knows him. Byron Jones set the Olympic record at broad jump, blew up the combine. I think this is about his ceiling here. And 32, New England, I have no idea where they can go. They don't really have a desperate need, though. I would say corner or safety would be a need, but there's no corners or safeties to take at this point. So they can either trade down or trade up, or just take best player available, which they often do. So I'm going with the pass rusher, Eli Harold, out of Virginia. You can never have too many pass rushers. And that's about it. So this is my pre-free agency mock draft. I will definitely have one after a post-free agency or in the middle. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know why my picks were bad and what pick it should have been. And thanks for tuning in. See ya. Bye.